you do on this program. Even me that anchor events, I can't do half of it. And I salute you. You are too much, Baba.
I mean, that's some what do you call it? Validation coming from a professional there. Thank you, Tall
All
MC.
right.
Pleasure,
Yeah,
sir.
good night.
You have a good one, sir. Cheers. So that's brilliant. I mean, and it's also like a passionate appeal, looking at a situation not from one angle, from one lens, but looking at it from all kind of a various perspective. They call it like from different angle, and you kind of have a reason to appreciate the moment, according to Tall MC, which is great. Let's now go back to that tally. Good enough, we didn't miss him. So, Sir Adoku, I mean, Adegoke, sir. Sir Timothy, that's your shot, please. I think you need to unmute, but let me try it from here, sir. Yes, that's you, please.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear, please.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. But can you hear me too?
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we cannot hear you, but can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Oh,
Okay.
can you hear me, sir?
I'll give you time. The problem is that we cannot hear you, but it doesn't
Hello,
seem.
can you hear me, sir? All right, I
Is
can
that
hear you now.
Oh, you can now. Hey, it's working. So I can hear you. I've been hearing you all this while.
Okay,
So,
sir.
and
Thank you very
if I can
much.
hear
Thank
you,
you for
right,
the
that means
program.
everybody is hearing you. Please go
All
on.
right.
Go on.
Now I can hear you. All right. My name is Adigoke. First of all, I'm not an elder. I'm as young as Mayegun as well.
Well, fair enough.
I'm calling from
You know
UAE,
what they say in
from
Yoruba?
Dubai to be precise.
You really see Oni
And
Sonny Lucky.
a
Yeah.
lot of people have been saying so many things. And first of all, I would need to comment on your program. Your program has always been very educating.
Thank you.
That's always been very educating. I started watching your program, I think, around 2018. That was when I knew you, and I've been following your programs. A lot of people have connected to your programs through me. And I will not say too much. Thank you for the program. Thank you for enlightening a lot of people, even though people that choose to live in denial. Thank you for enlightening each and every one of them. And I believe one day, um, people that choose to live in denial, their eyes might still be open. But one or two things that I would like to point out, sir. I'm not going to take our time because I know that we have a lot of people here that have been
Yes,
saying
go
a
on.
lot of
Go
things.
ahead.
One of the
Mm,
things I'd like to say is that this last election, it really changed my perspective about we Nigerians, especially those that are even the people that are in diaspora. Uh, this election, it made me to see that truly we have these racial tendencies, we have these racism tendencies. It show, especially during this election. I've never witnessed it like that before in my entire life. But this election made me to really see it, and it gives me a lot of perspective, like, you know, that Nigerians are not different from the politicians that rule them. Everybody is just waiting for his or her own turn. Everybody is waiting for his or her own turn to pick a share of the cake. I have in-laws that are ratified, and when they are trying to sound politically correct, I just look at them and I just shook my head and say, ah, this one they already miss it. And then number two, religion too is also one of our problem. I'm a redeemed member. I'm a redeemed member. I remember one of the days we were doing Sunday school and they were talking about Christian and governance. And one of the questions I raised, I said, we Christians, we need to talk to ourselves. We are the one giving these thieves, we are the one giving them platforms, we are the one endorsing them. So if we don't get it right in the area of godliness, we are only being righteous. We are not godly. We are not godly at all. And that day when I raised the objection during the Sunday school service in the church, Even the person that was anchoring the program could attest to it. So we need to, and the last thing I would need to say, sir, Nigerians, we seems to be forgetful. We usually forget easily. This issue of answers that happened, it's like some people are still saying it like nobody has died. And at times I feel like, is it that there is no humanity in us? Is it that some people just choose to die? The humanity in them just choose to die. And we have loads of them. Some of them are even professors. They will be telling you, what do you know? What do you know? And I think one of the things that this Gen Z has done to them, it has really made them to see that no, you elderly men, you have missed it, and if care is not taken, you don't have the time anymore. So that's just all I have to say. Thank you for your program, Mayegun. I
You.
really appreciate, sir. God
Thank you very
bless you, sir.
much, sir. I know we were having an issue of, the connection. Okay, so for people watching, everybody watching right there, it will start sounding like I was talking over him. So I just had to keep short, or else we will never understand what he wanted to say. And I'm glad that that went well. So what we're gonna do next is that we're gonna go to Sir Elder Dari. Sir, it is you we will be listening to next. And no, hang on. Is it Elder Dari or E2, E82? Is you. You see, I told you I could miss it. You need to remind me. I know you won't say anything, but good enough that I remember that. So if I give you that slot, please remind me, okay? I just flow with what I see on the screen. Sir, it is actually good to see your face in person again.
Yes. You know the slogan, all
I've
hell
always been,
Biafra, all
I've
hell
always
Oduduwa.
seen this, the green logo, the super chat and the rest of that on there. I'm like an E82. Okay.
Yes.
Good to see you face to face, sir. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us.
All
Mm-hmm.
hell Biafra, all hell Oduduwa. You know the slogan.
Hello to do. Go on.
Yes, Mayagu, thank you for everything. And everyone that's in the parliament, you guys spoke well, elegantly, a lot of great points. We may agree and disagree on certain things, but this is what makes this platform what it is, where we all could share ideas. Even when we disagree, we might learn from each other.
That's right.
I just basically want to be short about it. It's just that for how many years we've tried, with this independence and everything else and trying to gel together. One thing we have to keep in mind is that Nigeria was a project. Nigeria is a project designed by the British, and it was always intended for it not to work for us, but rather for the British to benefit from. So all these leaders that we see now, doing what they're doing, this is all by design. It's like almost like a computer programmer when you program a software or an app. It's designed to do that one thing, and it can never go off course. And these are all the end results of it all. And the only way to resolve this is for it to be dissolved. No matter how much we try, we can never fix it. Even if we get the best of the best into Rock or anything like that, it's never going to work. That's one thing we all have to understand. We can pray to now to thy kingdom come. Nothing is coming to change it. Obedience, yeah, you guys did well. It shows that people are not giving up. They're actually fighting. There's actually people that just fed up with everything. Kudos to you guys. But the end result is, when it's all said and done, this thing has to be dissolved. Let everyone go their way. If we decide to come together, then we could come together and build something else better. Right now, nothing is ever going to work. You can't build a skyscraper on a quicksand. It's just never going to work. I'm just trying to be honest so we could all see what it is for what it is. You know what I mean? We've tried many times. You just can't fix it. It's plain insanity if we keep doing things over and over and over. That's all I have to say, Mayagu.
Thank you so much. I love it when it's straight to the point, even though you barely use half of your time. Thank you for yielding. It's a pleasure seeing your face, even though you only gave me half of it. I mean, half bread is better than none, they say. Oh, yeah, that's it. Thank you, sir. So now we're going to go to the Sir Dari Elder. I don't know which one I will use first, but I will use Sir, which is pretty much befitting. You say Sir there. You know what I mean? So, sir, It is your shot.
Hi, Mayegu.
Yes, sir.
Is it because of my white beard you are calling me elder?
Yeah, it's because of your posture, the way you sat. I actually would have kind of seen that as your image, not even you. It was very like somebody who is like a sir. So yeah, maybe the bed.
Mayegu, forget the white beard. It's Nigeria condition that is causing this white
Yeah,
beard.
yeah. Now, I'm yours. Yeah, cook me, sir.
It's the condition in that country that caused this white beard. So
I
leave
believe
that
you.
elder. When you see some of us walking on the street, you think some of us, Nigeria has done something to us. That's why you see us like that way, you know.
Thank you for anyway.
Thank you very much, Maligo. This is my first time to be in this program. I've been with you for a while.
Thank you.
You know, I just want to give one testimony.
Yes,
There
sir.
was something you said, you know, politics in Nigeria has become like a drug to like drug addiction to Nigerians now. And especially in the way the establishment, you keep saying something, the establishment. When you say the establishment, a lot of people don't really understand what that establishment means. They think probably it's somebody that is in government or somebody that has a higher power. No. Even the woman frying akara might be part of that establishment. You know, in 2017, you had a program where something was happening and one man spoke something. And when that man says, that's why why I listen to you is that there's a whole lot of things one can take out of your program. That is why I listen to you. And honestly, your program is very, very educative.
Thank you, sir.
And while I was listening to that program, this man said something. I don't know if you could remember that program. It was a white man walking along the street, and somebody was asking him a question about Nigeria. And the guy said, no reasonable person stays in that country. That was what the man, when the man said that thing, you heard that program. I went back and I thought about it. He said, no reasonable person stays in this country. Omo. If like all of us in mad here, we don't know before.
Tell me
I
about it.
just, honestly, I thought I was working like a normal human being in this country. I didn't know I was weary.
Something is actually wrong. You just don't know what. You know, it's either
You
we
know?
are what is wrong or the system is wrong.
So,
Something is wrong.
and meanwhile, if you are there, you think that, oh, but this is how the thing is going on. It should be going on this way. This is how it's going on. We are okay. This is how it should be. And when I thought about it, I said, no, 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 no. And truly, when I dust my passport, I shot like you don't. I had investment because I was seeing the problems. But you know, if you're in the system, there's a limit to which you can see. There's a limit to which you can know. If you're in Nigeria, honestly, don't forget even when you travel out and you come back in, you won't see. You won't see.
Like you
And
don't
when I
see
thought,
things the way you see them when you are like seeing from
no,
outside and all that.
and the truth is that it's not that it is fantastic over here. It's that fantastic as such. That I don't see any difference. We have corrupt politicians all over the world,
Yes, we do.
but the establishments, the followers, can you know? So when I thought about that, and I said no, I said this thing I had for mind you. I said no, I have to take it up. And truly, when I took it up, I decided to sell my investment and move. And honestly, I still want to thank you that was one of the best decisions I took in 2017, you know. But even when I took that decision, that does not stop me from looking back home, how to fix back what is going on home, because still my country, I come back home, my parents are still there. And we're going to fix that country. Nigeria is going to come back. It's been like that all over. At times when I sit down, Manigu,
Yes, sir.
yesterday, or was it today or yesterday, I was listening to Lai Mohammed. How can Lai Mohammed leave? You know, something is wrong. People don't say, how can you leave somebody that made a statement and you are putting the accusation on somebody's head who was just quiet? That tells you that there's something fundamentally wrong in that country to a certain part of people that comes from that country. If Ahmed Dati was somebody from the South that made that statement. By now, it would have been picked up by DSS, or probably will be clearing off his acts in the. But I bet you, the establishments. I still know we have people in AP in Labour Party who are part of the establishment. I still strongly believe that Data Ahmed would have been picked up if he was not part of the establishment. I can tell you that. And they were so confused.
He's only enjoying the northern privilege.
I said they were, the establishment were so confused, do not know where to put the compass. They just decided to focus the compass on Obi. And yes, now you would have come out and talk about that statement. Now you didn't talk about it, so you're an accomplishment. So therefore, that was in your mind. That is what you wanted to see.
So it's all there trying to create a smoke screen, or trying to create nothing from create something from nothing, and just holding on to what will stick. Mental case, sir.
So and the way it is now, I tell you were asking if we are ready. My brother, we are ready for Bola Tinubu's administration by May 29.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that man is going to come in, and nothing is going to happen. Man, you go take it from me. Everything is going to go. Everything is going to go normal, because do you know why I said so?
Please.
I'm very old in this country, and I have seen situations that is even worse than what we have today. And I knew how it went because of the divide we have in our country, because of the divide, how we are made up. That man is going to come in very well, comfortably well, and everything is going to go normal, smoothly. Let's just wait now for another 4 years now. Let's leave him. Let's leave him. We did that in 2015. Let's leave him. He will continue. But we will only continue like that. But you know why? You know why it's so ironic to me? You know why it's so ironic? Because everybody, including Sowore, is putting the trigger at Obi. Why? That is just somebody came second. Nobody is even talking, okay, you came second. Why is everybody pointing the trigger at the man that came third? Why? Why are they just fixated against Obi? I've never seen any of the aide of Tinubu accusing Atiku. Even the respected lawyers, even those we respect as elders in Nigeria, they are all fixated at Obi. That tells you that there is a strong establishment in that country that will take only divine intervention to break. It is beyond what we see or what we are thinking or what we are planning. And I was so happy Obi said something. He said he knew that this struggle is going to go this way. It's not an easy one. But the only thing he didn't say was that he hoped that this struggle will not take his life. And I still fear for that man every day. I fear and I pray for him every day, because he walks along the streets with that guy.
Thank you so much.
I fear for him.
Just for clarity, for those who didn't understand that phrase where you said Tinubu will come in and nothing will happen, for those who didn't understand, what you meant there is that as long as we are divided and people are divided, so I never form an opinion to actually fight the establishment. With the way things are, that's exactly how Tinubu is going to come in. As divided as people are, that's how it's also going to run through. Sir, thank you.
Thank you very much, Maego. I so much appreciate you very much. And thank you for the good job. Keep it up very well. I always expect, I'm not really Yoruba. So when you see my name, Dari, that is just our diversity. I'm from the South and Shekeri by tribe. So, but you see Dari, you think I'm Yoruba. So,
well, I actually took that for Yoruba because I was like, Dari. I had a similar problem, right? When I got to Glasgow, so I was like, Oluwa Damilare. So when I was telling people that, okay, just call me Dari or Lord Dari, they're like, how do we call D? I was like, you know what? Don't stress it. Just call me Dre. And to these 11 years, majority of them would rather call me Dre because they can't Dari. Well, fair enough. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Maego. Nice one.
Sir. So let's move on. This time around, remember, people's opinions are theirs. Respect them. You can disagree with opinions, okay? or respect that person who made theirs, because we are all kind of, I mean, this is what is missing. Apart from us shouting at ourselves in the comment section on social media and there, your papa, have a conversation, listen to people, see how people see things too. And maybe, just maybe, you might actually learn something. I'm learning a lot. I don't know about you, and I bet many people are also learning. We had a lady with us earlier, but somehow we lost her. So I am going to try and bring her back about. Let's go with our list. So where was I? Just before I brought Sir Joseph Okonkwo, I remember my brother Ungbo Jowem, right? I remember you. I remember Banki. I remember Anthony, and then Aguru. Who was next? Sorry, who is next after the? If I remember, do you want me to reshare that? I think it's yeah, because I remember Banki was going to come. Okay, you know what? Let's save ourselves that stress. Okay, I mean stress. Okay, Ungbo Jowem, my brother. I will let you go next now, okay? And then Anthony, you will go after him. Guru sir, you will go after Anthony. And then Banki sir, as usual, you will go after Aguru. Then I can then come back to Sir Joseph, as well as the man of prestige. A pleasure, sir. So there we go. You can unmute, sir. And this time you can tell you how to pronounce the name. So I'll stop pronouncing it anyhow.
Okay, my name is Mbojukwem, you know.
Yeah, I got that
Mbojukwem, yeah. Since 3 days I'm trying to call in your program, because I started following you since 2014, I think. And only this year I got the chance to talk in your program 2 times, and 3 days ago that you have an interesting topic, and I tried to call him, but I tried, it didn't work out.
I'm so sorry.
But all these things, just let me go straight to my things. But I wrote some things down so that I can manage my time.
5 minutes, and any extra it's please.
And the listeners, good evening. Nigeria is a company, not a country. Let's just have that one in our mind. It's a company, it's not a country. And Nigeria is governed by cartel. And it has gone so bad that Nigeria is now ruled, and that Nigerians are being ruled on Facebook. And anything they fly as in Facebook, then Nigerians will make noise. At the end of the day, they will put it there as a policy. They will say, okay, let's go with it. And it's like that. So Nigeria is being ruled by Facebook, and that's where we are being divided more. We are being divided more. And another thing that I'm scared of about Nigeria is security. You know, when you look at Mali, you look at all these Guinea, or so. No, not Guinea, Mali. That's 2 countries in West Africa. They had coup last year, 2021, and so one of the youngest presidents now in Nigeria. They are military guys. In a situation Nigeria is now, the military must come in, but the military, they are not sincere anymore in Nigeria. I believe they are putting the good ones are no more. The bad ones are more than the good ones in the military. That's why we are just looking at Nigeria like this. Military are not saying anything. They are not doing anything. That is security part of it. So nobody is going to come out on the street and take up a placard that will not. That person is already dead. He's already dead. So the even police, military, they are all compromised. And when you want to talk about Obi and Sowore, Sowore has the force, but Sowore, since 1 week now, I've been listening to Sowore. I'm disappointed because, like the last.
Oh, what happened? Did I just lose him? Okay. See, what happened is I'm going to let. We have a lady back, and because it is the hang on. Yeah, because it is the rule, right? So I'm going to let the lady go next. Anthony. So you would have to be the gentleman as usual, okay? It's the rule. Somehow I made the rule, okay? So please. Lady, I will let you go on, ma. Mrs. AY, Mrs. or Miss AY, rather. Please, ma.
Miss AY. Can you all hear me?
Loud and clear, ma.
All right, thank you. And thank you for having me. It's been a while that I've been watching your show. Anytime I'm home, I'm always tuning in to know what's going on. And I would say my husband make me to like it though. So because there was a time I tuned off where you were saying some things about Christianity and all the rest, it turned me off. The same way I would have been turned off day before yesterday. We were talking about the people in their 50s. I say it's not our fault. What is happening these days is not in our time. I remember no phone, no TV, nothing. And also, I want to say this to all Nigerians at this time. Thank you for what you are doing, Mr. Mayego. It's quite a pleasure. You didn't allow us to be deaf. So, which is happening to most people in Nigeria. Before I came over to the US, we used to live in Osun State. Because when things started happening, I started equating things to what happened then. I said, when we were there, I don't know what is going on in Lagos. I don't know what is going on. Even the Ibadan that is very close to us, you will hear news in teeth and in beats because no lights, no data to watch anything. I don't even go to YouTube at all. So all we are saying now, most Nigerians don't know about it. That is the unfortunate thing. And I said it that these leaders, God is going to punish them because they are the ones keeping people in darkness so that they will not know anything, so that they can always use them. I want to use the case of Osun State as an example. When I was there, Aregbesola used to be the governor. This man was paying us our salary for more than 7 years.
Wow.
I don't know how on earth we survived. It's got on me that I'm like, what is this? And I know that is what most people in that place is going through. Nobody had us. We are the state workers. Even the federal workers did not see any reason why it will not pay us half salary. Just to know how terrible people are in their mindset. They didn't see anything wrong with it. After all, you guys are state workers. We are federal. The moment the government began to do the same thing at the federal, then they began to cry. So just to let you know how we are so insensitive. And look at this Aregbesola that did all this. He scraped all the schools in Osun State. He turned them to like a private school. He messed up the whole educational system in Osun State, to me. And this same man now came back this year. He brought the passport office to Ilesha. Now everybody starts celebrating him. That is the problem in Nigeria. We forget things so easily. Everything was doing was in favor of Tinubu. Tinubu is the one that bought Fakunle High School. Fakunle High School is the oldest school in Osun State. They scraped the school overnight. And they said they want to build, I don't know, shopping mall or whatever. They want to build in that school. And this belongs to Aregbesola. Aregbesola is the one paying our salary. And you know what all the things they get from all these things. For over 8 years, the Aregbesola was there, no increments, nothing. And they keep increasing everything. You know, they made a list of
progressives now. They are the progressives, so they said that.
And that's unfortunate, and people don't see it. Even the lecturers, just to let you know, I live in university town, Ile-Ife. The lecturers on campus don't know what is going on. They don't believe in what we are saying. They believe they are the progressives are the one doing the best. If a professor can be telling me that it's only Tinubu that can do it, do what? For goodness sake, let's have a change. We have enough of these people. They are rotating themselves. This morning I was listening to the news again, and I heard that Dino Melaye is now going to run for governorship in that state. You know what? I said, what is all this nonsense, for goodness sake? Can't we see? Can't we hear? Can't we know what is going on? Although so many times they put themselves there. Despite all they did in Lagos with the past election, some people are still claiming they are doing the best. I know of my auntie. Now she's not talking to me anymore because I said, "Auntie, can't you see what is going on?" He said, "No, don't talk to me about that. You live in the US, but I live in Lagos, and they are doing the best for us. They are paying our salary. They are doing this." I said, "Oh, so you guys just believe in that your salary, nothing more." And you know the little peanuts they give to people, and they made them to drum after them, and people run after them just because of it. And that is why they will continue to subject us. I look at Nigeria as a draft. When you are playing a game of drafts, they know when this one will go in and will defeat this, will win this. They know the game is a game. They know that when they shook us one time, and we shout, oh, the next minute we are going to stop and we are going to follow them. They know us. They know what we can do. They know our weaknesses. They know our strengths. They know where to get us. Look at what they did at toll gates, killing children, killing young adults. For goodness sake, who does that? In what country? And now nobody seems to remember. And now you are now enjoying yourself. You are now drumming and beating drums for what's the name of this one that just became the governor again? Sowore. I said, for goodness sake, listen to everything. So people seem to misunderstand. When Aregbesola was paying our salary, you know what the workers were saying? They say, let's just continue. By the time you will pay this salary, are we not going to, because I used to be a teacher, are we going to go back and be teaching the children? I say, if you die before your time, with the children, we didn't remember you. They don't know. People are so daft. People are so short. They are so short eyes, short mind. Everything about them is like they are being gagged up. And they don't know. Many teachers died. Some people cannot buy drugs for themselves. They cannot take care of their children. And yet you are still singing praises for these people, for goodness sake. I don't know how we are going to do it in Nigeria. My mind is always bleeding for my country, because when Oyibo man look at you, he say, we're from where country? Because they know from the moment they hear my accent, they know I'm from Africa. You are from where? I'm from Nigeria. You want to be proud.
Left elation. But I didn't leave you, and you can't hide it.
I can't hide it. I say I'm from Nigeria. I will tell them readily. I'm from Nigeria. They say, wow, they know so many things about us. It's insane. And we have a lot of us that are very brilliant and very smart. But despite that, we are living the way we are. The Lord will deliver us. You just don't believe in us, Christianity. We are praying, and God will deliver us.
Yeah. You know one thing, Ma. Thank God that you are able to say it to my face. You know, sometimes, right? Yes. I do feel like when I spoke about that thing earlier, did I say it the way I wanted to? So that those who are actually Christians or religious, they will understand that this that I'm talking about is not for them. It's actually for a particular, but sometimes how many explanations I will make. I apologize.
God will help us. I understand what you are.
You know what I mean? So usually
some pastors will make you speak against them in what they are doing, which I don't
apologize ahead of time. That if you're religious, I apologize. I'm sorry, but I need to start with this. I need to say this. But thank you so much, ma.
It's okay. Thank you very much for everything you are doing. God will continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
And God will strengthen your wife too, because I know he's doing a great job behind.
Thank you so much, ma. Can you nice to yeah? Have a good one, ma. Yes, ma. So that's a we couldn't miss that. Anthony, thanks so much for your patience too, because I need to also say thank you and thank you and thank you to you too. Now we're going to come to you. I have another lady, but I will come back to her. She is quite a little busy. So, sir, your short.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mayagun, the general. Everybody has spoken so well. Mine is just to troubleshoot everything that's been said in a different way, so to speak. So I would just want to go critical with everybody who wants to, all those who are promoting Tinubu. I want to say, if you are assuming if you are an employer of labor, would you employ someone like Tinubu? That's a very critical, fundamental question. If you cannot employ somebody like Tinubu, why would you want him to be the president of more than 200 million people? So that's the height of hypocrisy, and hypocrisy is the biggest bane of corruption in Nigeria, because we've been smoked and smothered into Stockholm syndrome, where people are suffering and smiling, and that is something that only I don't know who will save us from that. And another thing is this sense that, whether we want it or not, Tinubu is going to be inaugurated. I don't like to go into that kind of ideology. I'm a
Sorry to
very
cut you, Anthony. Right? That
okay.
some people actually consider that as a direct threat, but some people don't know.
Yeah,
In them that whether
because
like it or not, it's going to
yeah,
be.
yeah,
Some
because in its own is an agenda, which is what the Tinubu people are projecting.
right.
And when you surrender to that fate, it simply means you've already taken, because war begins from the mind. And what we are doing now is a war of the mind. You need to weaken people mentally in order to surrender them physically. So what they are doing is, whether you like it or not, Tinubu is coming there, and you look at the kind of foolhardiness this man is coming with, and you'll be like, okay, well, since they've said he's coming, whether we like it or not, and then you raise up your hand. I don't believe in that kind of thing. He's not going anywhere. You know why I'm saying that? Look at what is happening in Mexico today. People go to Mexico. I'm using it as an example. Colombia, where drug cartels have messed up a country that have so many wonderful people and so many wonderful talents. And because people decide to bring themselves together, they decide to form blocks against the institutions of government and against everything that means well. And then I'll just leave it at that. The other part I wanted to touch is when people talk about Obi and Obi and Obi, it looks like, yes, he's from the system, but have we ever asked ourselves, why did Adam fail? Adam fell because everything was given to him. Remember, in the Bible mentioned two Adams: Jesus, the second Adam, and Adam, the first one.
Right.
So Adam fell because everything was given to him. But Jesus came because he was in our nature. He passed through the system. The only person who can save this system is the person who understands the system. I used to work for for the federal government, for the presidency. So I understand the system. If you send me to that place now, I know where the loopholes are. I know where I'm going to touch. I know whom I'm going to hold. I know the people I'm going to direct. Obi has been through the system. And if you look at him, it takes the grace of God to see that the kind of massive support he's getting can only give him the conversion that is needed for that experience. Because sometimes the way we started this movement is no longer the way it's going. Obi is not handling this situation. He's just like a pilot. If Obi at any point says he's not going to go further, he's going to cause a problem for himself. So he's not the one directing the bus. The bus is the will of the people. Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are frustrated. Nigerians are channeling every form of anger, including you and I. Go to your message. Everything, more than 4,000 videos you have talks about Nigeria. Are you not tired? You're tired. So these are the kind of forces that are holding this. Is enough to draw conversion. So whether Obi likes it or not, he goes into that seat. He is going to have that tremendous conversion that whether he likes it or not, we are watching on him. For instance, like 10 years ago, anybody who saw 10 years ago will not believe what is happening today. That somebody like Tinubu will be like festered all over the internet. People will pick out all his sins wherever they are. We still have a window, more than up to 1 month. Worst things are happening. There's a division among Tinubu's camp. There's so much that people who are going on their own second conscience knows that something is happening and something is about to happen. And I want to use this opportunity to talk to the judges that very day. You are laying a legacy. And after that, I'm not threatening you. I can't do anything. But I want to tell you, you would rather make a decision that tomorrow you would rather give up on yourself than give up on your country, a country that has given you everything. You all have failed us. People like us didn't want to be overseas. We are here because you didn't give us the opportunities that we had back home. So I'm saying this to all the judges. I don't want to appeal to your conscience, but I want you to look at the worst crimes that has happened in Nigeria. If you don't think you are responsible, I will put it to you. The decision you make in that court on that very day will hold you responsible, will hold you accountable, will hold you in criminal moral conscience of for everything that has happened in Nigeria. So this is how I want to put it for all those who are going to make that decision. And you better have a helicopter that after that judgment you fly off, because people are going to come after you in the sense that people are not happy. And the truth about these whole cases are glaring, that you will jump all the cases. Like, it's not one, it's not two, it's not three. You jump all these cases and then make a judgment on a decision that will impact the lives of more than 200 million people who are suffering. So this is how I want to put it.
Thank
And
you so much.
it takes someone, once again, I'm rephrasing,
Please.
it will take someone who has been part of the system to save the system, not someone who has not been part of the system. Because if you look at comparative pragmatic assessment, just put juxtapose all the candidates. Tinubu, just knock him off. He's a drug dealer, he's an addict, he's everything. And which makes me believe some of the times he was gaffing was because he was into drugs. So if you put Atiku, he has SPV, put him on the side. Then you put Sowore. I don't know how much he has handled political experiences. Then you put Obi. He said, go to my history and give me wherever you have found me defaulted. He's not perfect, he said it. But if you have found me in anything, I'll surrender this movement. So people have not been able to confront him with that. So we are still going with him until they get something that is better.
Thank you.
For now, we hold on to what we have until we have what is better. But they should release that judgment and give Nigerians, because people like us who are living in the US are still suffering. I know how many calls I get in a day, and sometimes when you can't help, it feels like you don't know what is going on. Yeah. So passively and actively, we are suffering. Remotely and directly, we are suffering too. So they should set Nigeria free. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I bet even when people, for those who probably didn't, who were like, oh, he's actually spending all the time, at a point, they wanted you to probably continue. But thank you, sir, among other people who have spoken this evening. So it's been a pleasure. Sir Anthony, thank you. Now, the tradition is, I know I've got this big man here, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but the tradition is tradition. We have a lady. So we'll let the lady have a shot, and then we'll go back to the normal one, being gentlemen, please. Okay. So how are you, ma? B. Did I pronounce that right, ma? Okay, let's first unmute you. I think you have to do it yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes. Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for what you do. I just started listening to your channel recently, and I think I love what you do. It resonates with me. And I mean, I'm happy that you are a Yoruba man doing this. I have a reason for saying that, because when this whole ethnic thing went, overboard, over this last election, it was as if most of the Yoruba people were on some kind of autopilot mode. So everybody was like, even the people that you kind of respect and you think that they were very reasonable people, they all just, went behind.
It was concerning that even when I was raising the alarm, right? I was raising the alarm for those who will ignorantly agree with whatever reasons why they are doing what they are doing, because I wanted them to know that they are going to come for you too. But it wasn't long when they started telling Yorubas that they didn't look Yoruba enough, or they didn't speak Yoruba enough. I said, didn't I say it? When they are done with those they call the enemies, you're going to be next. So I'm glad that a lot of people also reacted, because a lot of Yorubas really, really felt so bad. And I'm glad I'm one of those who kind of lead that charge. So thank you. If that was
I do. It was getting to a point where I was almost developing some kind of phobia or anxiety when I have to discuss this issue with somebody who is, from my ethnic background, who is a Yoruba, because almost all of them, no matter how much you think they are enlightened, exposed, sophisticated, educated, even some of them who are living abroad, they all just seem to, I don't know, it's like everybody's gone crazy, And so anytime I see a fellow Yoruba who thinks like me, who is reasonable, who is detribalized, I have this peace. I have this relief. Let me call it relief. So I'm happy for that. And I mean, greetings to every other person on the panel. Everybody that has spoken so far, I agree with most of what everybody said. I love what Miss Ayo said. I really could see her passion. It's almost palpable. And but I want to talk about something, and I mean, with every due respect to all the nationalistic movements, by this I mean the Biafra movement, IPOB, the Yoruba Nation, and all the different, groups. Personally, I think the way we are going right now, if things don't go, because I'm not going to trust too much the Nigerian judiciary. We can see that we cannot really trust them, not just the judiciary. Anything that is coming from Nigeria is always very unpredictable. I don't have so much faith in them, but I'm going to give them, just like most people, I think we should give them the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not expecting much, in terms of them giving, the correct judgment and giving justice to Obi and his cause and giving the bandit back to him and all that. But if they don't do this, I'm just wondering what is going to happen. And I think at this stage that at some point that country is going to end up, it will implode. I mean, there's no way around it. Everything is going to explode at some point. But there's somewhere I beg to disagree. Okay, which is this whole thing of, let's everybody go their way. I don't agree with it, and I will tell you the reason why I don't agree with it. Now, even within all these ethnic groups, like the IPOB, the Yoruba Nation, whatever, there is not really any unity. You see, I mean, you as a Yoruba man, you agree with me that even among the Yorubas, there is segregation. I mean, when all the Yorubas come together, even within Ogun State, there is segregation among the Egba people and the Jebus.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And the same goes, like Yorubas will say something like Awaraoke. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
I mean, people from
I thought Araoke. We know those we call
yes, you know what I'm talking about. So obviously, yes, like the people from maybe from the upper side of Yoruba land and all that. So even among all the different ethnics, or I mean the major or whatever ethnic groups, there is division. So at the end of the day, if they all say, okay, let Yoruba go, let Igbo go, let whatever, they will still keep breaking up into tiny bits. They're never gonna be, personally. And another thing is this, like when you see, like, okay, for instance, I am Yoruba, but there are so many other Yoruba people like me that I don't agree. We don't have the same philosophy of life. We don't share the same ideology. For instance, someone like all these Tinubu and the rest of them, I don't agree with them. You see? So how can it be? Okay, if we decide to all go our separate ways, I can't live in the same country or be led by someone like Tinubu, even though he's a Yoruba person like me. And I know that even among the Igbos, they have their elites as well, who are somehow funny people who have always been aiding and abetting all the different governments that have been persecuting the Igbos. You see, so where I'm going with this, my own, way of thinking is this: that I think if there's going to be any breakup, the breakup has to do with an ideological division, not on ethnic basis. Okay, so something like the Obi movement. The beauty in the Obi movement is it's not ethnic. It is organic. Okay, and it is filled of people from different tribes, from different backgrounds. Mm-hmm. That is the kind of breakup that I can, join. Like, okay, it doesn't matter whether you are Ishekiri, whether you are Hausa, whether you are Fulani, whether you are Igbo, whatever. But as long as we have the same ideology, I can go with you.
That's brilliant.
Because at the end of the day, if people are going based on ethnic background, it's not going to work. And I'm saying this with all sincerity. There are so many Yoruba people, and I've said I didn't know this before, but since this election, I mean, like I can say, even from friends and family, I've almost had some, I wouldn't call it enemy. And I know that some people have shared the same experience. I mean, look at someone like Sowore. I mean, I know Sowore personally, by the way. I'm not going to go into, I know him personally. And I respected him. Obviously, the political ambition thing, I'm not so much into that. But look at what Sowore has been doing. I mean, you would expect that if Sowore was really into okay, he really means well, like he wants Nigeria to change, he wants whatever, he would support the Obi movement. It doesn't mean, I mean, there were some people that were suggesting to him back then, maybe you should join up with Obi. I mean, that's another different thing. I mean, it doesn't have to. But for him to start attacking Obi, when all these things are coming up, rather than for him to recognize who the common enemy of the masses are, which is Tinubu and this whole APC and PDP people, and confront them, now is going personal with Obi, which to me is marks of jealousy, of rivalry. It seems to me like, oh, it's like, okay, I'm the one that first galvanized the youth. Now, why is it that everybody decided to go behind Obi? So it's decided to take it personal. So this is the kind of thing we'll be having. Even when we have, or maybe Yoruba nation or whatever nation you choose to call it, you're going to have people who are more egoistic leaders who are probably just like thinking about themselves, their ego and all that, not really committed to the unification of the people. So personally, this is my own, I don't want to go on and on about this, but that's just my opinion.
I'm happy that you don't want to go further anyway, but however, I would kind of love to listen to you all night as well. But some of the people are like, oh, she's taking all the time. I was like, well, I can sit down, I'm sit down here all night. So thank you for all of that. We have picked a lot from you tonight. And then, like I told people, I think we should do this more often so that a lot of people can always like come on and then, thank you so much, ma, for that. Okay. You have a wonderful evening, by the way. Thank you, ma. So now let's go back to the men. And the men remain now. So when everything is sorted, then we will check out, we check on the men that are left. So I am going to start with Agoro, sir. You have been so patient. You have been inside that car for like an hour. Thank you. And also with Banky. Banky too has been there like for an hour. Now I'm going to deal with the two of you, and then I'm going to go with the last elders who are there as the big men before we call it tonight. So, Sir Agoro, you might need to, I'm going to, His Excellency, now maybe you and I will close. I've seen you, but I'm gone there. So I don't want to add you yet. My time is almost up. Now, Sir Agoro, Muiwa, Baba, please unmute your time.
Yeah, good evening, good morning, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
First off, I just want to commend you for this platform, and it's been very, very educative for me.
Thank you, sir.
And also, I just want to quickly say something. I don't want to take too much time because I've been on the road since, so I just need to use this program to just use it as icing on the cake.
So thank you so much. Yeah. Please.
So one thing I've observed about all our politicians in Nigeria, they all have one thing in common, and they use it to make people to work against themselves, to divide us. Guess what those two things are?
What are?
Ethnicity and religion. That's their common denominator. That's their modus operandi. That is the way they operate. When it's time for election, that is when they know, oh, you belong to one tribe. Oh, Omo Ali become the war. Omo Ali become the war. Aovi, and Omo Ali, stuff like that. But after the election, everything comes back to normal. Because why?
The same thing.
Yeah, they've achieved their aim. However, the Gen Z of these days at the woke,
The Kigbas.
No. We understand that keep quiet, and you are mortgaging their future, and you just expect them to keep quiet. No. There's something they say: if you pursue a goat to the wall, it turns back and begins to fight back. So the Nigerian youth now, they are now in a survival mode. They will do anything to get their future back from all these people who call themselves politicians. Let me tell you something. My dad is a politician. He was, but no longer a politician. Why? For the sake of
private. You don't need to say much.
Yeah, I don't want to say much, but
about him.
But this same Aregbesola, that the former governor of Oyo State, was a closer friend to my dad. Yes. When Aregbesola was nobody, Aregbesola back Kojani Street, if you want to left my Koja, that was how poor he was. But my dad discovered that if you want to do things right, there's nothing wrong in being a politician. As a matter of fact, it's okay. But when you want to hold on to politics and begin to use it to subvert people, that's where the problem is. So my dad was like, I do not subscribe with what all these people are doing. And I told him straight up, I said, sir, I'm not a politician. I don't like politics. If you know that what these people are doing it negates your principle, pull out.
Stay away from them.
And thank God it was as if he heard what I said before I left the country. And he pulled out. So now, then that's when all these politicians, that's when they now use religion and then ethnicity. I wish I had one singular power. All this state of origin, they should take it out of the constitution. Yes. They should replace it with residence, place of residence. Maybe that will make us understand, because here in America, there's nothing like state of origin. Wherever you stay, that is where you're going to be identified. That's the state you are going to be identified with. That's your state of residence. So all these things in the constitution that was formulated by the British that they gave to us, it's causing a lot of problems. But guess what? This politician will not allow any constitutional amendment, because they know what they're going to get from it. So
for some reason the network is started acting up at the other end, so let's give him just a few sec. Now, if you are still watching, I think we have nearly 3,000 of us still watching on YouTube, so thank you very much. Okay, so if you haven't really liked this broadcast, I kind of plead with you too while I go to Banky. Now, if Sagoro comes back, I'll bring him on again so that I can just finish what he's saying. Oh, Banky, sir, you need